Hello everyone! So today we're going to finally create our first web page. Any website is basically just a regular folder on your computer. And when we're talking about a public website, it just means that it's a folder stored on some remote computer. So what does that mean? It means that in order to create a website, we need to create a folder. We'll call this folder Site, for example. Okay, so let's go ahead and open the folder and create our first web page. Any web page is just a file with an HTML extension. So to create a file with the HTML extension, we need to open Sublime Text. In the menu, we have to click File and then New File. And then we click File and Save. We have to save our file in the Site folder that we just created. Let's call the file Page. And don't forget to put .html. As I have already mentioned, all pages have the file extension .html. There are some tips for naming files. I don't recommend that you put a space in the name of the file. What do we do if our file name consists of 2 words? Pretty simple. Just replace the space with a dash or an underscore and it will work just fine. A third option is to write 2 words together, but write the first letter of each word with a capital letter. All 3 of these options follow the rules of file naming. Lovely. Now let's get back to our file. We can see the Sublime window on the screen. Let's refamiliarize ourselves with the structure of web pages. In our last lesson, we talked about this picture in which a person is compared to the structure of a web page. As you can see, the first thing written at the top of the page is doctype HTML. Let's write it. An angle bracket, an exclamation mark, doctype HTML. By the way, we're supposed to write doctype in capital letters, but it's not really a strict rule. It's sort of a tradition that developed over the years, and it's best to stick to it. Alright, let's move on. Next up is the opening HTML tag and the closing one at the end of the page. Let's write them. By the way, if your tag is paired, I highly recommend that you write the closing tag right after you write the opening one, so you will not run into problems because you forgot to close the opening tag. And what do we have in the HTML tag? The HTML tag contains head and body. Let's bring them up. We write head. By the way, if you start to write a tag and Sublime highlights it, you just need to click Enter, and the program will finish the opening tag and add the closing one. And the cursor will be between those 2 tags. Very handy. After this, you need to click Enter and write your HTML code. We also write body. Perfect. Here's a little piece of advice for you. If you have a pair tag, then everything that you write in it should be written with tabbing, also known as tabulation. Tabbing is a type of spacing. You can use tabbing with the help of a special key that is located in the far left corner of your keyboard and is called Tab. Press it and you get a gap. This is the tab. As you noticed, when we wrote the head tag and pressed Enter, the tabbing became automatic. It's just another way that Sublime helps you. And what does the head tag contain? In the head tag, we have 2 compulsory tags, title and meta charset UTF-8. Let's write them down. We write title and meta charset UTF-8. And what does the title tag contain? In the title, we write the following My Page. In fact, our first page is ready. Now let's find out how to open it. Click File and then Save. In Windows, you can use Ctrl+S. In Mac, it's Command+S. There are 2 ways you can open the file in your browser. With the first one, you don't have to leave Sublime Text. Right-click, Open in Browser. and then your page is open in the browser. There's another way. Go to the folder with your website and double-click your file. It will open your page. As you can see, the page is empty. However, if you remember, I said earlier that the title is always displayed in the tab. So, as you can see, the tab says My Page, meaning the title works and in general, our HTML document is correct. Congratulations! That's it, your very first page. See you next time!